Todd Gurley to the goal line. Touchdown! I think he thought about waiting and letting the clock run out.
Oh, I don't think there's any question.
Matt Ryan, does he have anywhere to go? Sidearm throw, the catch. Calvin Ridley got it. It's 2 points, but that's not going to help you. Hawkinson trying to get out of bounds. So the Falcons are trying to keep him in bounds, and they do.
Wow.
Effort knows the situation here. Sidearm throw and an excellent catch by Danny Amendola. Stafford, middle of the field. Catch made, sliding inside the 10. The official says yes. Wow. Kenny Galladay.
Terrible spot.
But can they do that? The ball was snapped.
Where's the spot?
I thought they were going to lose it here with a runoff.
He has time.
And I thought he should have run it for a second.
And then the player around the world, though, after the score heard around the wrong world, and Dennis Fithian, my guy, the best guy.
Phenomenal job.
It's such a rarity to see the Lions. You saw that whole sequence. Gurley scores, wasn't supposed to. Stafford, 75 yards, 64 seconds. Extra point, 48 yards because of the penalty on Amendola. And the Lions win. The Lions, Falcons, the Falcons. And I still don't believe that happened. You had mentioned there, you thought they were going to get screwed by the runoff. Obviously, Gurley wasn't supposed to score. The game would have been over. That was the reverse of what always happens to the Lions, all in one little sequence there.
Yeah, well, before I get to that play, I really can't wait till next week gets here. Actually, really Wednesday gets here. You've been so hard on the campaign trail that I know you're here right to the end. I see you having these big dinners of, lobster, 20-pound lobsters and everything else. You're hitting the cyber campaign, man. You're on the phone. So I know, man, Tuesday can't get here fast enough for you, but good luck, man. I know it's fast and furious. The one thing about that made it crazy, the Gurley thing, two things. One, the day before, of course, Penn State, they should have shown the way, the exact same thing happened. And then the next day, when they had the audio of Matt Ryan in the huddle saying, hey, girl, just go down, make sure, first down, go down, ball game. Don't. And he says it again. Don't score.
Don't score.
I mean,
did it twice.
You couldn't have told him anymore. I mean, he was right, 3 feet from him, telling him, looking right at him. Hey, don't do it. And then it happened.
Don't score.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that makes it entertaining for the Lions for the rest of the way, and they are in playoff contention and actually make the playoffs. That would be something for this team that looked like they were dead in the water 2 weeks ago.
You're right.
Yeah.
And by the way, welcome into the great Dennis Fithian. I'm Dan Leach. Welcome to Football Friday. Enjoyed Task Force Good Afternoon production. And Dennis, that brings us to Lions and Colts. And the Colts go off a bye. The Lions off their bye were 7-1 against the spread in their last 8. I know the Colts have some similar success, but obviously a new coach in Frank Reich over the last couple of years. When you look at this Colts team with Phillip Rivers and Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the home improvement running back, and what they've been able to do so far this year, they haven't been incredible like a Pittsburgh Steelers or a Ravens, but they've been really damn good. Is this the moment where if the Lions at home as a 2.5, 3-point dog, the home dome dog, beat those Colts, get above 500, not that you're jumping back on the bandwagon, but that playoffs are becoming a legitimate possibility?
Yeah, look, I think that 2 weeks ago, my mindset was I was totally rooting against the Lions. I was picking the Jaguars. I was hoping that it was going to end the regime. And it was the same thing last week. I was picking against them. I didn't think they'd be able to stop Julio Jones and Ridley. I just didn't think that was going to happen. And I was rooting against them all the way up until what happened with Gurley, got my attention. And then when they got down there, I thought they were going to blow it with a runoff, and I'm like, good. I'm glad I'm not rooting for this team or anything. It's going to be another painful loss here. I'm really glad I'm not invested in it. And then they went and scored the touchdown and I actually cheered for it. And that's the moment I'm back. They've made this game important, at least as important as it could be in a game 7 on the year when you had such a bad start and you looked, so horrible and everything that I thought about the coach and the GM. So, what was the question? Am I going to buy back in if they win the game against the Colts?
If they win the game, not that you're back on the bandwagon, but that playoffs are a legitimate possibility going into week 9.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to get on this bandwagon for the Lions until they win a playoff game, but
Sure.
I am much more interested in them, and I would like to see them make the playoffs. I'd like to see them be in the playoff contention, but you start looking at it. You're telling me today, would I like to see them, head on the road to Seattle or Green Bay or Tampa, and how I would feel about that game? Like, I'd give them like no chance in that game. Like the last time they played against Seattle, I watched them go up there. They didn't score a touchdown. That was one of the most frustrating Lions games that I've ever seen. So I don't know. Do I really want them to go to the playoffs where, I guess it keeps me entertained for the rest of the year. But then, I get that big gut punch. It's like eating 20-pound lobsters every week. You probably really enjoy it. But, after 8 weeks, it's going to make you sick. So I don't know. Do I keep doing it or not? Probably. Give me a playoff game down at Tampa Bay.
Playoffs.
give me the Lions against Tom Brady week 1 of the playoffs. And, yeah, I'll take that right now. So that answers your question. I hope so.
Yes, it does. And by the way, I must say, as I just want to throw you go full screen here, you look very, very nice today. Very fancy pants. So nice stuff there. I'm with you on this. By the way, lobster has lots of protein. It's just one of these things where, and I said this on air last week. I said this with you on the show last week, that I'm not back on the bandwagon. But what I will say is that even though I believed that Bob quit, it was all with him a couple years ago, thought Patricia was the right guy. It could be a situation. I'm not saying it is. Very unlikely, but it could be when you look at the Kyle Shanahans and the Andy Reids and Mike Shanahan and Ron Rivera, all those guys, amongst many others, in year 3 really turned a corner. And they all went to the playoffs. And most of them had not even been to the playoffs. Most of them hadn't been to the playoffs in their first 2 years, and some of them have been really bad in their first 2 years. So I'm not going to say I am completely freezing Patricia out and saying he totally sucks, has no chance of being a good coach going forward. That being said, you got a 5-week stretch here. The Lions have, I believe, 4 winnable games. It starts with the game on obviously Sunday against the Colts. If they go 4 of 5, or at worst 3 of 2, and are still above 500, I will say they have a legit chance in the playoffs. But I'm not jumping back on the bandwagon, Dennis, because this team has blown huge leads to Chicago, 35 straight points to the Saints. Atlanta, I know they won last night against Carolina on Thursday Night Football. They're not a great team, but I will say this. If they have that kind of pressure on Matt Ryan and hold the Falcons to the running game, 66 yards, I believe, they did last week, and the offense continues to play the way it did, I think the Lions are going to beat the Colts. So I'll give my prediction first. I think the Lions hang in this game, find a way to keep us excited, and win it 29-25 at Ford Field. They cover the spread, and the Eagles over the total.
Yeah, I don't believe in Phillip Rivers. You know what? He reminds me of Peyton Manning the last year he played for the Broncos. I mean, he was just a name only. He couldn't throw the ball across the street. And I see the same thing. Phillip Rivers has no arm strength. And I believe the Lions can win this game. I think a very close game. I'll take those points as well. I'm going to pick the Lions as well, 25-24. But I do feel like, that at the end of the year, they're going to be like that lobster, that you're going to throw in a big hot water, and that sound that you hear when the lobster is in that boiling water is going to be all the Lion fans, that squealing. That's going to be me, that sound that they make when they're in that boiling water. And, yeah, it is shellfish to think about them making the playoffs and then getting cooked at the end. But you know what? I like shellfish. Shellfish.
Where are you coming with all the puns today? You're on top of your game.
I mean, I love because I love lobster, man, and I couldn't get away from watching that, that gigantic haul that you had earlier this week, and it just made me think. Like at one point, I was like, I would like lobster on the bottom and snow crab, and then king crab, and then I'd like the claws that are cut and steamed. That'd be way too much, but I like blue crab that's cold, along with I've got some shrimp cocktail for the game tomorrow that I'm going to get into. Put some oysters on there. What it just gets me thinking about shellfish. So it's selfishly I'm thinking about them. So that's why I keep talking about it. Butter, lemon. Let's go.
We'll find a way to do it safely. The next time you're getting half that 10-pound lobster. That was Ronaldo that I named him. The greatest lobster ever. It was just unbelievable. All right, before we get into our picks. And you and I continue to do it. We have been 2-1, I think, pretty much. Every week. I got to tabulate our overall records, but you and I have never had a below 2-0 week or 2-1 week. 1 week, I think we were both 3-0, and one of us is 3-0. But we've never had a below 2-0 week. I just want to quickly say The task force is brought to us by our good friends at Thomas McGee's down in Eastern Market. Best place to watch MMA, boxing. They got big UFC this weekend. You got, obviously, soccer going on. Check out my man, Eric Olson at Thomas McGee's. Dennis, I know you're a big international soccer guy. You've watched those matches in many different bars in England. So it's kind of like an English bar with bitter beers.
Well, I love bitter beer. And, Leeds United was good back in, 1991. And I think that just this past year, they won the Premier again. So it's been a long time for Leeds, but Leeds United, that's my club.
Yes, I love it. Are you ready to make some picks here? We got some juicy games for week number 8 in the NFL. Let's get it going here. And we're going to start with a real interesting game. I think you look at this Ravens team. Obviously, they were incredible last year. Did get to the AFC title game at the end. But you look at the Steelers, who I have just become enamored with. I think they're the best team in the NFL right now. Ravens -4 against the Steelers. This is kind of a little bit of a revenge maybe for Baltimore. Pittsburgh's playing such good football. Do you think the Ravens are able to stop the Steelers on Sunday?
No. First of all, this is the best rivalry in the NFL, 25 games, Tomlin and Harbaugh back and forth. I love this one, and I'm right with you with the Steelers. Every week I talk about how much I love the wide receiving core. Connor looks pretty good. Snell looks pretty good. Roethlisberger looks like he's in his 20s, and the defense is the best defense in the league. So all of those things, and with no real home field advantage in Baltimore, I would pick the Ravens if it was just a pick 'em, but it's not. They're getting 4 points, so I'll take the black and yellow.
Black and yellow, black and yellow. I am all over the Steelers as well. You're going to get Deontay Johnson coming back, staying healthy, getting things done. The Steelers, the only undefeated team in the NFL. I know it's on the road. You mentioned it's with this great rivalry. The Steelers get the job done because that defense, causing turnovers, Big Ben in the offense, are incredible. I think they win the game. I'll say 24-20, and they definitely cover the 4 points. All right, how about the Bills? They're at home. They obviously
Let
got
me just cut you off. The Bills, I'm circling the wagon. I like this pick back on Tuesday. It was 3.5. Edelman went out and it bumped it up to 4, but I don't care. I think I'd bet the Bills even if they were -6. I'm all over the Bills.
How about the Patriots? Worst game of the Belichick era, destroyed at home by San Francisco. Cam Newton benched. They're 2-4. They've got to win this game. They want to go to the playoffs. Does Belichick look silly right now? Because Tom Brady's in Tampa playing great football? I'm with you. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, that Bills defense, they get the job done. They win this game by 10 or more. A rout of their division rival. All right, lastly, Seahawks and Niners. This should be an interesting one. Obviously, the Seahawks lost last week in Arizona, that crazy Sunday night game. Now you got a 425 game. 49ers come in 4-3. Seahawks 5-1, their first loss. It's the Seahawks -3 against the Niners, who just made the Patriots look silly.
Yeah, this is the toughest game out of the 3 for me to pick. I can make a case for both. And when I do that, I'm going to go with offense. And Russ, that's what I'm going to put my money on. If I'm going to come down to the quarterbacks here, give me Russell Wilson. Give me the Seahawks. I'll lay the 3.
Really quick, listen, we have some breaking news. A.J. Hinch press conference with the Tigers at 2 o'clock. Instant thoughts. He's the right guy. I mean, contrition.
Yeah, I was looking for a can to see if I could bang it, for my approval.
Here, I'll bang the honey here. Yeah, he's the guy. He apologized.
Hey, this little beeper underneath the saying, yes, I like it. I like it. I do like it. For a second with Tony La Russa, party like it's the 20th century, and maybe Jim Leland was going to go to the Tigers. And I'm glad. AJ Hinch, the 2 things. Even though I hated what the Rays did in the World Series, and I'm glad they lost. And I hope Cash, I'd fire him. If I was in charge down there. Hinch, he knows analytics and he knows how to cheat. Those are 2 real important things in baseball. Congratulations. I like him. But we got to do this fast. I got 2 minutes.
All right, give me your pick against Seahawks Niners. I'm going with the Seahawks -3. All right, so fifth will be on the same side everywhere. We both like the Steelers, both like the Bills, and both like the Seahawks. Let's get to our daily fantasy starters, starting with Fifth King.
Yeah, you know what? The way Herbert's going, they keep calling him Marino. Any chance you can get him, take him. And it's just been a crazy year where it's up in the air with Mahomes and Murray and Kamara. Those guys look like they're sure things, but everybody else, even Devontae Adams, can he stay healthy for 2 straight weeks? The low price starter, Herbert is my guy, and that's who I'm rolling with this week.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, A.J. Green in that shootout with Tennessee, He's $4,500. That is a low price starter for me. I will take AJ Green. And that will do it for our Football Friday Madness and Greatest Dennis. Parting shots for you. What's going on for the weekend?
Well,
Michigan win.
I'll give you that one right there. I don't know if you can read it or not. 79-0. That's going to be part of my Halloween
79-0.
Yeah,
I love it. I got 47-10.
Okay, well, you know what? You're a little bit, more pessimistic than I am. I think it's going to be a real bloodletting, and it's going to be, a great day for Michigan. So enjoy it, and it's always great to be on with you, Dan. I'll talk with you soon.
You as well. For the great Dennis Fithian, I'm Dan Leach. It's been Football Friday. We'll see you next time. Wash your hands, vote, believe in the dream. Peace, thanks.